I have never met a man so ignorant that I couldn't learn something from him. In the sciences, the authority of thousands of opinions is not worth as much as one tiny spark of reason in an individual man. Knowing thyself, that is the greatest wisdom. I do not feel obliged to believe that the same God who has endowed us with senses, reason, and intellect has intended us to forego their use. In the sciences, the authority of thousands of opinions is not worth as much as one tiny spark of reason in an individual man. Knowing thyself, that is the greatest wisdom. I do not feel obliged to believe that the same God who has endowed us with senses, reason, and intellect has intended us to forego their use. To understand the universe, you must understand the language in which it's written, the language of mathematics. To be humane, we must ever be ready to pronounce that wise, ingenious, and modest statement, I do not know. Two truths cannot contradict one another. The sun, with all those planets revolving around it and dependent on it, can still ripen a bunch of grapes as if it had nothing else in the universe to do. Nothing can be taught to a man, only it's possibly to help him to discover it inside. Measure what can be measured, and make measurable what cannot be measured. There are those who reason well, but they are greatly outnumbered by those who reason badly. Nonetheless, it moves. The greatest wisdom is to get to know oneself. The Bible shows the way to go to heaven, not the way the heavens go. You cannot teach a person something he does not already know. You can only bring what he does know to his awareness. If you could see the earth illuminated when you were in a place as dark as night, it would look to you more splendid than the moon. Wine is sunlight held together by water. I think that in the discussion of natural problems we ought to begin not with the scriptures, but with experiments and demonstrations. And who can doubt that it will lead to the worst disorders when minds created, free by God, are compelled to submit slavishly to an outside will, when we are told to deny our senses and subject them to the whim of others, when people devoid of whatsoever competence are made judges over expert. They who depend upon manifest observations will philosophize better than those who persist in opinions repugnant to the senses. Where the senses fail us, reason must step in. Mathematics is the language with which God has written the universe,